The bass line is a predator prowling in the dark. The glowing pavement tiles light up underfoot with each step. The kick drum is a heartbeat. For the world, Billie Jean was a phenomenon. It wasn't just a song, it was a cultural flashpoint. This was the track that helped put Michael Jackson on the path to becoming the king of pop and made the moonwalk a global sensation. Everyone knows the song. Everyone has seen the video. But what if the story behind it was real? Billie Jean was a monster hit that took over the planet. But the woman behind it wasn't just a character. According to one story, she was a real person. And she was dangerous. This is the chilling story of the obsessive fan who allegedly claimed Michael Jackson was the father of her child, and whose actions may have inspired a pop culture phenomenon that hid a dark and terrifying reality. The song the world knew. Released in January 1983, Billie Jean was the second single from the album that would define a generation, Thriller. It was an immediate global sensation. The song shot to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 on March 5, 1983, and stayed at the top for 7 straight weeks. It was a masterpiece, crafted by Jackson and producer Quincy Jones, built on a drum machine pattern and a bass line so infectious it's instantly recognizable. But the song was only half the story. The Billie Jean short film, directed by Steve Barron, was a game changer. It tells the story of a hunted star, pursued by a shadowy figure, which many interpreted as a metaphor for the paparazzi and the suffocating nature of fame. This video broke down barriers at MTV. The network had been criticized for its reluctance to feature black artists, and CBS Records president Walter Yetnikoff reportedly threatened to pull all of his company's videos unless they played Billie Jean. While the exact details of that confrontation are debated, MTV did put the video in heavy rotation, catapulting both Jackson and the network into a new stratosphere of cultural influence. Then came the performance. The Motown 25, Yesterday, Today, Forever Special was taped on March 25, 1983, and broadcast to the world on May 16. In front of nearly 50 million viewers, Michael Jackson took the stage alone. He brought the paranoid energy of the song to life with a fedora, a single glittering glove, and a series of dance moves that seemed to defy physics. Then, for 3 electrifying seconds, he glided backwards, as if walking on the moon. He didn't invent the move. Dancers had been performing variations of the backslide for decades, but he perfected it, and the moonwalk was reborn as his signature move. Michael Jackson went from superstar to a force of nature. The world was at his feet, but behind the glitter, a much darker story was taking shape. The story Michael told. When asked about the song's origin, Michael Jackson was consistent. He always maintained that Billie Jean was not one specific person. In his 1988 autobiography, Moonwalk, he explained that she was a composite of the women who had pursued him and his brothers since their days in the Jackson 5. He wrote about girls who would do anything to get to them, often making false claims that one of his brothers had gotten them pregnant. It was, he said, a constant source of anxiety. Jackson said the song came from this general experience of being falsely accused and pursued. The lyrics are a frantic, desperate denial. Billie Jean is not my lover, she's just a girl who claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. For Michael, this was the whole story. It was a fictional narrative about the ugly side of fame, a warning about how a lie can take on a life of its own. It was a work of art, he said, born from a general feeling, not a specific event. However, those who knew him felt there was more to it. They saw the intensity of his performances and the raw paranoia in his voice, and believed it came from a place far more personal and terrifying than a simple composite of groupies. And one of Jackson's most prominent biographers would later tell a different story, a far more specific and chilling account that painted the song not as fiction, but as a document of a real-life nightmare. The story he wouldn't tell. According to J. Randy Taraborella's biography, Michael Jackson, The Magic and the Madness, the story of Billie Jean began with a letter in 1981. At first, the letters from a young fan were adoring, but then their tone began to change. Taraborella's account claims the woman started writing to Michael as if they were in a relationship, telling him they were destined to be together. Then came the letter that changed everything. The woman claimed she had given birth to his son. In some letters, she even claimed they had twins and he was the father of one of them. Jackson, who had seen obsessive behavior directed at his brothers, tried to ignore it. But the letters kept coming, more frequently and more demanding. Tara Borelli writes that Jackson began having nightmares as the fan insisted they needed to be a family. The situation reportedly escalated. According to the biography, she began sending packages to his family's home, one of which allegedly contained her photograph. Jackson was deeply unnerved by this. Tara Borelli reports an anecdote where Jackson decided to memorize her face so he could avoid her in a crowd. The final package, as described by Tara Borelli, was the most terrifying. It contained another letter and a gun. In the letter, the woman allegedly proposed a suicide pact. At a specific time on a specific day, she would end her own life and the life of their son. And she expected Michael to do the same so they could all be together in the next life. The biography reports that Jackson was utterly horrified. According to Tara Borelli, the woman was eventually located and admitted to a psychiatric hospital. The immediate threat was over, but the psychological scars remained. This terrifying, behind-the-scenes drama, whether a specific incident or a composite fear, gave the song Billie Jean its haunting power. It's stories like this, the dark truths hidden behind our favorite songs, that we explore on this channel. If you find these deep dives into music history compelling, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. You won't want to miss the stories we uncover next. The lie becomes the truth. Whether it was one specific ordeal, as his biographer reported, or a lifetime of similar experiences, the fear it represented left a mark on Michael Jackson. It's easy to see how such events could have fueled a deep-seated paranoia that seemed to follow him for the rest of his life. You can hear it in the very fabric of the song he wrote. The frantic energy, the desperate denials, the sense of being trapped, it all came from a place of real fear. The line, "Mother always told me, be careful who you love and be careful what you do, 'cause the lie becomes the truth," became a kind of mantra. It was a direct reflection of how a fan's delusion could threaten to become a public reality, how a lie could become so powerful that it threatened to consume his truth. This alleged experience may have informed not just the lyrics, but the very way he performed the song. When he stepped on stage to perform Billie Jean, he had a desperate, hunted energy. It's as if he was physically acting out the story of being pursued, of being trapped in the spotlight while trying to escape a false accusation. The performance could be seen as an exorcism, reliving the trauma in front of millions of people who had no idea what they were truly watching. In the end, Billie Jean is a paradox. It's a song that makes you want to dance, born from a story that can make your skin crawl. It's a testament to Michael Jackson's genius that he could take an experience of profound fear and paranoia and transform it into one of the most beloved pop songs of all time. Whether the story came from one specific woman, as his biographer claims, or from a collection of unnerving experiences, as Jackson himself stated, the result is the same. The song captures the dark side of devotion and the crushing weight of fame. It reminds us that for every glowing pavement stone, there is a shadow. And in that shadow, a lie can threaten to become the truth, creating a masterpiece born from a nightmare. The world danced, while Michael, in many ways, was running for his life.